Everything's upside down and inside out around here. But have we got some special news for you? Don't worry, Letitia's not pregnant. You're not pregnant, are you, Letitia?
I don't think so. I'll run a test.
Good idea. Actually, we're moving. It was getting a little cozy down in the basement underneath Little Lady's brothel. It's a great sweat parlor, though. The cream of mushroom soup is divine. But the smell... Oh. So, we're fixing up a brand new studio. It's gonna be posh as fuck. Speakers fucking everywhere. Dolby Atmos 19.7.8. It's all about the bass. So for tonight, I thought we could just do a little casual Netflix and chill. Minus the heavy petting and the Netflix. What I mean is, coming up on tonight's episode of Bad Hair Detective on the Move, Paul III sells the kids for food, and Whitesea goes back to his roots with an all-new vlog, which looks like it was made by a smelly teenage girl, back when vlogging was still a thing.
Hey bitches, welcome to Ask a Gay Man Fashion Edition 5.
Bonza, Mike.
Something special, really different. Tastes great. Frankie's spicy pork and beef sausage in a sesame seed roll. Topped with mustard, tomato, or fruity sauce. Frankie's, the super hot dog. On sale at the kiosk now. Frankie's, from Lion.
May we remind you that for the convenience of those patrons who prefer not to smoke, seating areas on the right-hand side of this auditorium have been designated as no smoking areas. Your cooperation is appreciated.
We would like to take this opportunity to thank you for not talking during the film.
She's talking to you. If you need a shit, you're gonna have to hold it. It's about to start. Woohoo!
Hey everybody, and welcome to the vlog. I actually started as a vlogger. This channel actually is the result of everything I learned from vlogging. What I always wanted to do with the channel is two things. One is product reviews and being as honest as possible.
I'm sorry, Carol.
And the second thing, basically celebrating music, celebrating studio life.
I'm sorry, Carol.
And also because I have more things to do in a day. Lowering the letter T on one timestamp. Like this is it. Just quickly receive the package. Am I going to open it? Can't do it. I mean, I always like testing new gear and unboxings, but it creates such a mess. And that's always something I need to do afterwards. By showing the passion and by showing what I'm doing, I hope that I can also help people.
How about you help people learn how not to master an album?
I mastered an album, a whole album. It's 37 minutes of content. And I had a few issues with the mixes, but it was one of those issues where you think like, hey, is this intentional or not?
What's that? No, thank you. Goodbye.
So I was like, hey, let's just assume everything is intentional in this mix.
I'm sorry, Carol.
And move ahead from here and master it so that I can send my client files and the client can already hear the vibe that I'm going for. it turned out that the things that I heard in the mix, which basically was, some harshness, most of it in the guitars and stuff, which can be really cool in certain styles. And in this style, can be really cool. It wasn't intentional, and the client has fixed that.
That sounds like a waste of time. TikTok!
And also, he didn't really like my masters, more or less the vibe that I was going for.
That's why we talk to the client.
The vibe I was going for was actually using quite a lot of compression and quite a lot of grit.
Sounds terrible.
And what I think happened as well is that I was very inspired by the THD.
Makes sense.
And transformer features on the Wes Audio. And that made me probably really overdo it a little bit.
So that's how not to run a studio. But let's hear from someone who actually knows what the fuck they're doing.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Over to you, Steve.
I don't expect the mastering engineer to do anything. The mastering engineer should do as little as possible, and whatever he does in terms of changing the sound quality should be under the direction of the band whose name is on the cover.
Fucking kill him! Fucking kill him! Kill him already! Kill him! Fucking kill him!
When that album is sequenced together, you've been listening to each of the songs individually, but now you're hearing them as an album, you hear them in context, one with the other. It's quite likely that there will be some irregularities exposed by that, the listening to the album as a whole. When you hear this song finish and the next song start, the next song may come in slightly weak because it was mixed at a slightly lower level, or maybe doesn't have quite as much high frequency energy, or not as much power in the low end, something like that. Those slight differences are the sort of things that can be normalized somewhat in mastering, but those mastering changes should always be at the behest and under the instruction of the band, and not just a bright idea that the mastering engineer has. When you're mixing, you should try to make things sound exactly precisely as you would like them to be. Then the mastering engineer's job should be to make whatever small adjustments you think are necessary on reflection and after having lived with the finished mix for a long period of time.
He was dumb, but he was dumber. Together, they were dumb and dumber.
Welcome back to my vlog. I thought I'd bring you to a special place for me. It's where I do my best work. Paul? Speak of the devil. Next up, we got Paul III, who this week lost his shit, stating, and I quote, "To be honest, I don't really give a shit if my audience is interested in it or not. I'm done making content to appease others. Too many Cape Crusaders out there now telling the people what they want to hear to get more subs." That's what he said.
Paul III, Paul III, For me, what a podcast does is it allows me to share things that are on my mind that I don't necessarily think would be a good fit for YouTube. See, the thing is with YouTube is that you've got to be very selective of your content. So all the stuff that I do now on YouTube is kind of content that I know is going to be clicked, it's going to be watched, it's going to be shared.
It's going to be clicked, it's going to be watched, it's going to be shared.
Because in the end, I've got to value my time. See, like, again, if I'm like, right, okay, I want to speak about this, that, and that.
And I kind of know it's not going to do well on YouTube.
But I do it anyway. What I've essentially done is I've essentially taken food out of my kid's mouth.
Essentially.
I've been making lazy content and not researching stuff properly and just kind of spouting a lot of shite and just like spouting misinformation left, right and centre. What I'm going to talk about in like this series is a 7.1.4, 7.4.1, whatever way you want to do it. If you're interested in this stuff, then please like. Most of you, I know, are going to dislike it. Well.
What I've essentially done is I've essentially taken food out of my kid's mouth.
Video call done. It was actually with Paul III for the, what is it called? Working Audio Tools podcast, where I'm going to be on. And it should have already been released by the time that you're watching this video. And now for me, it's time to relax a little bit and go to sleep. Because I need to...
We now have delicious, crispy Tolona pizza at the refreshment stand. What do you have? Cheese, sausage, or pepperoni? Take it away!
For the people that don't know what I'm talking about, I mean creating a thumbnail that is like with like... weird faces on it. The interesting thing is that people say that YouTubers do it for the algorithm. Algorithm.
Spouting a lot of shite and just like spouting misinformation left, right and centre. Focal, whatever way you want to call them. I know it's like 7.4.1 and it's like 1 sub, but you'll find that many engineers actually use 2 subs. We are normally best to use 2 subs. If you're going for cheaper subs, like just 1 single sub, you get to spouting a lot of shite. So £1,600 for the RP8s, £500 for the RP5s and £600 for the S12.4, and altogether that's going to come in at around £2,700. You're going to need TRS cables, you're going to need balance cables, so you're going to need 11 of them. I'll show you exactly how you can set up your Dolby Atmos speakers in your room, and it take you close to 15 minutes. Spouting misinformation.
Damn straight. So, Paulie, how did you get this one past Wi-Fi?
That's going to be a cinema room, not only just a music mixing room. Like, I'm in a small village with like an immersive room that like people could come and pay money to experience. You know what I mean? There's passive income to be made. Spouting a lot of shite. What I've essentially done is I've essentially taken food out of my kid's mouth.
And it's Thursday. And that's it for today. Do I look green now? But you know, some days are really just, you know, work, getting things done. Getting things done. So that's, let's see what tomorrow will bring. Here will. Look! An empty screen! I really like to move a bit slower. I really need to do very good time management in order to get everything done. I don't know what I'm doing. My plans that I had for tomorrow are cancelled. So let's go to tomorrow. I don't know what I'm doing. Alright, it's Wednesday and didn't have the best night of sleep last night. And that's basically because So the next step for this video is going to be creating the thumbnail, which is something a little controversial sometimes.
Same old boring shit.
Hey, Letitia, how much fun was movie night? Letitia?
Sorry, Harry. I must have gone into sleep mode.
Well, don't let me disturb you. I suppose I'll clean up all the mess you made as well. You got popcorn all over your face.
Next time on Bad Hair Detective.
A new exhibition opens at the Museum of Modern Art, aptly named Hideous Bald YouTubers in Piss Jars. Letitia reveals her new stage name in a BHD TV exclusive. And we move into our new studio. Look at that. It's time for you to get the fuck out of here. Hey, not so fast. If you want to get a shout out on next week's show, leave a comment down below. All entries must start with, when Harry eats What are you still doing here? Shoo! I think the lens slap transition's broken. Skedaddle.